It is September 1st, 2025, and that means we're going to go over all of August's eBay numbers, see how we did for the month. I will take a look at all of our profits of the entire month, how we did for gross, how we did for net profits, and then I'll go over like the 9 or 10 best sales of the month. Then after that, I'm going to pack up the 5 or 6 orders that came in yesterday and today that need to go out tomorrow morning. Today's Monday, it's the holiday, so I spent most of the day working. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. But before we do anything else, let's go update this tally board over here. There is, I've been tracking every sale since April 1st, trying to see which day of the week gets the most number of sales on average. Right now, Tuesday's way in the lead. I think I'm going to erase these and then write some numbers up at the top and start over again. Or I might just give up on this whole thing. I'm getting kind of tired of it, and I'm only doing it every few days. So right now it's Monday, and we're all the way back to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there were 6 sales on Friday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 on Saturday, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on Sunday, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think Tuesday's still winning. Sunday seems to be catching up, maybe even Thursday, who knows. I'll do some math maybe tomorrow and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so then the next thing we're gonna do is talk about August numbers. So I made a little cheat sheet here, has all of my statistics and everything on it. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so August was good. This was surprising because I felt like we were underperforming all month long, but it turned out that it was the second most profitable month so far this year. We made just $100 less than we did in April, which was the highest performing month so far. I'm not sure where this unexpected jump in April came from. It was like, approximately $1,000 more than every other month around it. And we're creeping up on that number now. So hopefully as we go into the third quarter, this kind of trend continues. Jessica was suggesting that maybe it had something to do with Easter because last year we had a big jump in March. I didn't really get granular looking at which days when things started to improve or which days were better, but March was the best month of last year. So far, not the best month of last year, but it was a big surprising bump in the middle of the spring where, again, it was like $1,000 more than the months around it. Jessica, yeah, she says it's Easter, could be Easter, could just be springtime. People are getting out from they're escaping from the winter blues and they're looking for something to spend money on. I don't know. But I'm happy to have a big month like that. I wish they would all kind of rise up to that same level. But okay, let's look at exactly what happened in August. So total gross sales for the month, $7,058. So I've been tracking like how we're doing this year compared to last year. So in August of 2024, we made just about $1,900 less than we did this year. So pretty good. I think every month so far this year has been greater than last year. There was one month where it was only like 50 cents more, but most of them are like at least like $500 more than last year. Some are more like $2,000 more than last year. So I think we're definitely, I know for sure we're going to be over what we were at the end of the year. We'll be making more this year than we did last year. It could be that we're not going to reach my goal of $50,000. I think that's pretty much a sure thing. We're not going to get that goal, but we might get close. Anyway, after all of the cost of goods and all the eBay fees, shipping labels and everything, the actual profit that we made off of that $7,000 was $4,254 this month. So not too bad. If we want to talk about the best sales of the month, there were 141 sales total in August. And then there were 9 sales that were over $100 and then 1 that was creeping up on it. So I'm probably going to include that on this list here. So let's go over these really quickly. So the best sale, number 1, best sale, maybe I should do these in reverse. Well, we'll start at the best and work our way down. Best sale of the month I had these steel alignment racks. I'm going to move the camera over to make room for a pop-up right here. So that should come up, show you exactly what I'm talking about. These big they're like for aligning the tires on your car. They were super heavy. There were 2 of them. They were over 50 pounds each. I think the packages ended up being 54 pounds each. And after all was said and done, I was thinking I could get $500 or $600 for these, but over the time, I just kept lowering the price. I only paid $30 for them. And then they ended up selling for like $250 or something like that, and $250. And so after fees and cost of goods, we ended up making $202.47 on these alignment plates. The next thing up is a pizzelle maker, like these Italian cookies. This is Vita Antonio. I see these things all over around here. This is maybe I don't know, I've probably sold 8 or 10 of these over the last 2 years. And they always sell pretty well. Sometimes some of them aren't worth as much as others. Some of them are brand new in the box. Some of them are open box, you know. So I have one here. It's actually a Belgian waffle maker, but it's the same kind of deal. I think it's a similar company if it's not the same company. And I'll pack that one up later tonight. But this one was a pretty rare one. It was an older one. It had the box and some accessories, recipe book and stuff like that. And I found this at an estate sale. I don't remember what I paid for it exactly, but it ended up bringing in $202.26 profit. So that was pretty good. All right, the next thing up, number 3, is these vintage coveralls from Sears. I think it was like the mechanics who worked at Sears wore these coveralls. I'm pretty sure that's where they came from. They were really ragged, had lots of stains, oil stains and paint stains and all kinds of stuff going on with them. But it turned out that's exactly what people wanted, because this was the exact same coveralls. Like these particular Sears coveralls were the same brand and model that they used as the costume for Michael Myers in the Halloween movies. So I bought these I at least had them for one Halloween last year. Or maybe I bought them just after Halloween. I think I bought them just after Halloween the year before, like in December. And I was able to see previous sales of these comps, and they were like, there was one pair that sold for over $600. So I was very excited to sell these for $600. But of course they didn't sell for quite that much. It took quite a while to sell them. I lowered the price occasionally to try to make them more, to get more action on these things. And finally somebody sent an offer and I accepted it. I think it was for 200-ish, right around 200, maybe it was 190. Anyway, I think I bought them for $1 or $2. So I sold them, and the profit that came in from them was $166.04. So not too bad. The next thing up, this is sort of a bittersweet one, I guess. It was 3 bottles of Loctite, and I got a whole bunch of this Loctite from an online auction. And of course, it's an online auction. They don't show you all the details. When I got them, I realized that they were expired. Not that expired, like July of this year they expired, so they still have plenty of life in them. I did a little research and I found out from Loctite experts that the stuff never really goes bad. They just have to put an expiration date on it for some kind of legal reasons. In any event, I spent like $400 on all of this Loctite. I think I have 48 bottles of it, or 42 bottles or something like that. Right away, I listed them, and maybe 2 hours later, somebody asked me if I would sell them the whole lot. And then they backed out and said they didn't really need them after all. But I was really excited. Like I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to sell them at all because they were expired. And then right away somebody asked if they can buy them all. So that didn't turn out to be anything. But shortly thereafter, 2 or 3 days later, somebody bought 3 of them. So at least I brought in $132.56 on these 3 bottles of this stuff. And I still have like 38 or 40 more, something like that. So hopefully those will all sell and will bring back all of that money and then some. Okay, the next thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th item on the list was this pair of speakers for like a school intercom system. I got these from a church that was going under. The church closed down years ago, but they're getting ready to tear the building down. So they have a estate sale in this building. And I just took these right off the wall. I thought they were cool and that somebody would want them. It's probably hard to see in the picture, but they're cool, like the way they hang on the wall. This could be something that somebody could make a cool, like submarine themed entertainment room or something in their house. Anyway, I don't remember exactly what I paid for them or exactly what they sold for, but I know they brought in $130 profit, so that was okay. All right, the next thing up was a book. This is a book I got for free. It's a it's like a reproduction of the manuscript of The Great Gatsby by what's his name? F. Scott Fitzgerald. And it's like a reproduction of his handwriting. Like every page of the book has his handwriting in it with the words crossed off and words highlighted and different spelling changed and whatever. It's pretty cool to see this. And it was made by a company that really put a lot of effort into making it a very nice thing. Very well made, high quality paper. It was in a slipcase. You know, very beautiful book, but unfortunately it came from a library and they had put stickers and tape and stuff all over it. So I still, even with all that, I sold it for $125. I sold it for $150, I think, and I brought home $125.89. So if it didn't have those stickers and stuff, I mean, there's very little sales history on this book. There was only, I think, 1,200 or 800 of these made. You know, it's assigned and numbered. I think it was 1,200. So not that many of these floating around, not that many make it to the eBay market, but I was happy to get $125 for it. I mean, I didn't pay anything for it, so pretty good. All right, next on the list is this. It's a Penn ultralight fishing reel. So I got this at a garage sale where I asked them about a couple of things and their prices were very low. So I just started making a pile. Like, I'm not even going to ask anymore. I just made a big pile and then I asked, how much do you want for everything? And they said $12, which was, I'm sure, like if they had done the math, they probably would have come up with like 25 or 30. So I did not give them 12. I gave them 20 because I felt bad about it. And still I was making out like a bandit. So I got this one fishing reel. It's still in the box. It has been used, it looks like, but it still comes with the box, comes with the instruction manual. I think it's probably from the 50s or the 60s, based on the serial number and then like the artwork that's on the box. It's hard to date some of these things, but just based on that artwork, looked like late 50s or 60s. And I think after all was said and done, I paid like $2 for it. And I sold it. Somebody sent me an offer. I had it listed for 158 or something. Somebody sent me an offer and I think they sent an offer of like 138. And then after fees and everything, we brought home $119.47. So good. That's another good sale for me. Anything over $100, I feel like is a good sale. All right, the next thing up is a set of salad plates. I think it was 6 little plates from Villeroy and Boch. It's called Casa Look was the pattern on it. And they're a little bit beat up. You know, these had been definitely used. You can see utensil scratches on the surface. But even with that, I sold them and I brought home $117.39. All right, the next thing on the list, this is getting to be a long list, was a Ralph Lauren leather jacket. I think it's from the 90s. So I got this at a yard sale for 15 bucks and I sold it for like $125 and profit wise I made $115.63. Okay, the last thing, this is the one that didn't quite make $100, but it's close. So it's just the cargo cover for the car. Like, we bought a new car, it had this cargo cover. I didn't feel like I needed that. It sat on the back of the couch upstairs for probably 6 to 8 months before I finally got around to listing it. And it sold for right around $100 and it earned me $95.38. So that's it, the 10 best sales of the month. Pretty good month, I would say. Let's look at this spreadsheet one last time to see if there's anything I need to tell you. So right now last year we made exactly $30,000. I mean, I should say I made $30,000, but $30,000 profit last year exactly. It's actually like $29,999.63. So there was a return last year that I was over 30,000, and then this return came in at the last minute and dropped me down to just under 30. But right now, total for the year, we have $27,610. So we're pretty close to what we made last year, only 7% away from that. We need to make another $2,390 to go over last year. I'm sure we will make that in the month of September. And then we have about 20,000 more to go, 22,000 if we want to get this 50 grand And we're really only going to have 2 to 3 months to get that. So it's probably not going to happen. I'm definitely sure we're not going to make that $50,000 this year, but this is all gravy. You know, I have a full-time job and this is a part-time business. So it's all just kind of almost hobby money, you know, just doing this for fun. Although it is work, and I'm going to be talking about how much work we did today while I'm packing some of this stuff up. So let's get to packing right now, and then I'll tell you what today's work looked like. All right, we're back and we're ready to pack. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items that are going out today, and 2 of them are from yesterday, so that is going to affect those numbers I talked about earlier. Some of these, like the shipping on a couple of these things, but it's not going to affect it very much. You know, just drop it down by $8 or $10, whatever the shipping cost on these things. 2 of them were from yesterday, from the 31st, and then the rest of these are from today. So let's get right to it. Where are we? Let's see, orders, awaiting. I'm looking for orders, awaiting shipping, which is sometimes here, but not always. Here we go, paid ship now. All right, we'll start with this Drumhead. We're gonna go from the oldest sale to the newest. So this Drumhead, is this going to another country? It is. So I'm gonna try to pack this. Okay, you know, it's going overseas through the eBay International Shipping Program. So I'm not gonna do much different than I would normally though on these Drumheads. I'm shipping them in pizza boxes because that's the only thing I could find that was the proper size to ship some of these larger ones. And some of the really big ones I don't have any boxes that I can possibly buy to ship them. The ones I was looking at that are the right size are like dozens of dollars a piece. You know, I'm not going to spend $18 to ship just to buy the box to ship the thing in that I'm going to sell for $30, $20. That'd be crazy. So at some point, I'll probably have to get those really big Drumheads listed on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and try to sell them locally, because I do not want to ship a 32-inch bass drum. I don't think it's even possible, like financially possible to do it. So right now I'm just filling the corners in a little bit with some balls of paper, and then I'm just gonna close the lid on this and try to keep it all contained. I've shipped these quite a bit, so you've probably seen them going out before in the last several months. I'm gonna try to get these flaps inside, which is going to be tough, but that's what I want them to be. Okay, go on. It's almost there. We had some fireworks in the neighborhood tonight, and Pineapple is a little bit upset by that, but not like he would have been several months ago because of the medication he's on. I am attributing it to fluoxetine right now. That's all he would have had tonight, because we wouldn't have been able to anticipate fireworks on September 1st. There's no excuse for it. I was sitting out on the front porch a couple of days ago, and there was like the largest explosion I've ever heard. It like scared me to death, and I was like, this has to be somebody just around the corner. So I would like to go and yell at them. And then about 15 minutes later, another one came. So I got in the car and I drove around looking for these culprits, and I could not find anybody. I'm not sure what I would have done if I did find someone, but I'm not really a confrontational person, so I don't know if I would have done anything or not. But I mean, it is crazy. It's August 31st. We are as far away from the 4th of July as you can get. You cannot be shooting fireworks. Enough is enough. So then they were doing it again tonight. So he's pacing around, but he's not getting real anxious and doing any of his self-destructive behavior. So I think we're on the right track with these pills, but he's definitely not happy. You know, he's wandering all around the basement looking for something that will calm his nerves, I guess. He got into some corner somewhere and got all dusty. Oh, here he is. Hey, bud, you looking for a bed to lay down in? Here he is. Here's my boy. You looking for a bed? Here's your little bed. Why don't you lay down? Here, lay down in your bed. It's cool. We'll see what he does. He doesn't really like these noises and stuff the tape gun makes and all the ruckus with cardboard and stuff. So I don't know if he'll stay here or not, but hopefully he will. I do like to have him join me. Oh, there he goes, wandering away. So yeah, I've been down here. Right now it is what? 11:45 at night. So I'm just starting to pack now. I really, this is a day off from work because of the holiday, and I've been down here, or in one way or another, working on eBay stuff since about, I would say, 9:30 this morning. 20 by 20 by 2, and this is going to EIS, but I think there's another one too, so I'm going to put their initials on here, EISMH. So that one's done. So I was down here first thing this morning taking photos, trying to get stuff listed, and I got about, I think I got about 18 items listed this morning. I already wrote the drafts and I just needed to take the photos and stuff, so I got that done. Then Jessica wanted to get breakfast, so we went out for breakfast and came back home. And I had started a inventory project the other day. I've been hearing more and more about people saying some of their listings are disappearing from eBay, so I made a video about that either yesterday or the day before. And I don't really know if if that's been happening to me or not, because I haven't been keeping track of inventory in a real professional way. I've never done an inventory of everything that I have here in the last 3 or 4 years or whatever. So I decided I'm going to start doing it. I thought I would just go through one box or one store's location on each Saturday, because if I have time to work on eBay stuff, I'd rather spend it listing or sourcing or shipping. Like, these are the things that actually make money. But I don't want to get into a situation where somebody buys something and it is missing, I can't find it, or I don't want to have a bunch of stuff sitting around in my inventory that's not listed anymore that nobody could ever buy. So I decided I would start going through and trying to find stuff. I found that first box I went through had like 21 items in it. And I found one item in there. Shoot, this box is too small. I found one item in it that was not listed, and I'm gonna find a different box. Hold on a minute, I'll be right back. All right, that box was a little too shallow, so I want to get rid of this. And then I found a different one that's maybe slightly smaller than I would like, but it's gonna be pretty good, I think. Just about the right size. It's a double wall box, so it's gonna give this thing a little bit of protection, even though it doesn't have any padding around it, so I think it's gonna be fine. That bass drum, or that small drum, I don't know if it's a bass drum or I think it's a small bass drum or a really large floor tom drum. It's like 16 inches. I got that for free, and I sold it for $21.99 plus shipping. And that's going to eBay International Shipping. Do we want to see what country? Let's find out what country. Learn more, show recipient address. Denmark. I don't know what countries are still dealing with Americans these days, but Denmark apparently. Okay, so this puzzle maker, I paid $10 for it, sold it for $100 plus shipping. This came from the Goodwill, and it was brand new in the box, never been used, I'm pretty sure. I've got several of these, so I started getting confused about which ones came from where and the condition they were in, but this was a nice one with the original box and everything. Okay, so what was I talking about? Inventory. I was starting to do inventory, just gonna do one box at a time. I found the one item that was not listed, and I hear a lot of people saying eBay took my listings down. And it is possible. I mean, I can't say that eBay doesn't have glitches, or they don't just do routine house cleaning and say, this thing is garbage, we decided you can't sell it. I don't think that probably happens, but who knows. I have a suspicion. I know at least one time I was working on some stuff, and in my shop, I was ending and relisting items, and I was doing them 5 at a time. And during that process, I fell asleep. I was sitting on the couch, must have been a long day. I fell asleep while I was working on it, and I woke up and I had deleted those 5 items on accident. And I couldn't remember what they were, and I could not recall those. There's no way to get them back once you deleted them. So I don't know what they were. I know there was at least 5 items in my inventory that are not listed because I hit the delete button when I wasn't supposed to. So I can't say for sure that this baseball, which is what I found yesterday, was deleted by eBay. Probably was deleted by me. Who knows? I wrote Pizzelle on here, even though it's actually a Belgian waffle. maker. 8 pounds, 3 ounces. So that's really 9 pounds, but this is 16 by 13 by 6. So anyway, I decided I need to do an inventory. I want to go through and make sure what I think is listed is listed. So I just did that one box yesterday, and I made a plan to continue doing that every Saturday. I'll just do one location each Saturday. And I told Jessica about it, and she said, that seems like maybe that's a job for 2 people. Maybe that'd be easier with 2 people. And she's like, one of her great skills is being organized. And she can think about things in a way that I don't think about them. So I really was happy to have her help. She came down here with me, and we got through, I think between 7 and 9 boxes. I can't remember for sure, but we got through a bunch of boxes. There was a few things that were well, no, we got through more than that. We got through 7 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We went through all 6 of these totes down here. One of them's empty, so really just 5. The other one I put in the bedroom so I can put clothes in it tomorrow or over the course of this week. So yeah, we got through a lot, maybe 15, 6. I'd say we got through 13 to 15 boxes today, locations. And there were some things that were supposed to be in T1, tote 1, were actually in tote 4 or whatever, and we got it all squared away. So all of these are organized for sure. There was a couple of things that were just totally missing, that I couldn't find them in any of these totes. I did find them later. So there was a boppet and a pair of swimming trunks that I found in some other boxes, and I put them into the totes where they belong. And then the only thing that we found that wasn't listed was this. It's a tote bag, it has LaCroix on it. And I know I had 2 of these, and I know I sold 1. So my guess is that when I created the listing, I meant to put 2, a multi-quantity listing, and say I had 2 of them, and maybe I just said I had 1. So that one is gonna have to be relisted later. The baseball I found yesterday, I did a little bit of research, and it doesn't seem like it was worth relisting. So I was just about to put it in a pile to go into the garage sale, and I dropped it, and it rolled under the couch. And so for now, it's staying under the couch. One day we'll move the couch and get that baseball out of there, but for now, I'm leaving it there. Okay, so next thing up here is a watch. This is in the box. It says Norwich Jewelers, and it's a Mickey Mouse watch. The band is clearly brand new. I would guess this watch has never been worn, but it does have a pretty good scratch across the face that you won't be able to see it here, but you can see it in the pictures I put in the listing. I've had this listed for quite a while, and was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or 2 days ago. I responded to a shopper's question asking if if it had a glow-in-the-dark dial, which it doesn't. This box is glued together wrong. I had a few of these particular types of boxes that are glued poorly, but I'm gonna have to fix this one somehow. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, somebody messaged me through eBay asking if that watch had a glow-in-the-dark face. It does not, so I responded to that person, which I don't always do if I don't think it's gonna be resulting in a sale. This box, I'm throwing this one away. I'm starting over. These boxes are usually pretty good, but occasionally you get one that's just glued the wrong way, misaligned. So anyway, this guy messaged me about the watch. I responded to it, and he said, okay, thank you, and then did not buy the watch. And then a day or 2 days later, somebody else bought it. So this is a chicken or the egg situation. Like a lot of eBay sellers, and myself included, would have said, when that guy sent me a message about this particular item, it triggered something in the eBay algorithm to say, this is an item that is of interest to someone. Masking tape. Here's Linda's masking tape. So they would have said this thing was, now this thing is getting attention because somebody was interested in it. And that's possible, but then it's also possible that for some other reason, the watch was getting interest, and then that resulted in the person sending me the question. So it really is a which came first situation, and there's no way to know. You know, eBay's algorithm is a mystery. Any single person that tells you they know how it works is either lying to you or misinformed, because I don't think that the people who work at eBay really know how it works. I think they just tell it here's all the variables that you can mess around with, and here's what we want you to accomplish. And then do whatever you got to do that. I think that's basically how this algorithm works. So I don't think there's anybody telling you, make sure to look for messaging about items, you know. I don't think any of that's happening. So anyway, it is always interesting when it happens though, when you get some attention, a person sends you an offer or whatever, then they don't buy it. And then that same day it sells again. Like this has been listed for over 2 years. Very close, well, no, only close to 1 year. I listed this in September 2024. So we're in September now. So it's been listed for 1 year. Haven't had any action on it whatsoever. And then within the course of 2 or 3 days, somebody sends a message and then somebody buys it. Seems unlikely that those things aren't related in some way. Okay, that's 8 ounces, 10 by 7 by 3. And this is another EIS. This is going to EI. And what country is this going to? Singapore. That's interesting. I wonder what's going on in Singapore that they want a Mickey Mouse watch. Okay, that's 3 down. Next up, I have these 2 plates. This is actually kind of interesting. And I don't fully know the whole story, but these plates are made, they say, JAJ, I think is the company. JAJ, made in England. So my understanding is Pyrex, when they sold it in England, they sold it under the name JAJ. So that could be wrong. It could be that Pyrex sold the technology to this company, JAJ, and they made Pyrex plates, but this is basically Pyrex. They made different patterns over there that were not available in the US. And this is a pretty cool one. It's like, looks kind of 70s, but I think it's probably late 60s. I'm about to crack open one of these rolls of bubble wrap. This is the giant bubble wrap tube I got a couple of days ago from American Bubble Boy. I drove to the factory and picked these up in person. And once I saw them, I didn't know for sure if they were going to fit in the car. And it was a close call. I had to really slam the door hard, the hatch, to get them to fit in there. And for some reason, I mean, they cut them, but they stick together. All right, I'm gonna use this here either right now or pretty soon. So let's have it ready. All right. So I usually put a few pieces of cardboard, scraps, in between these plates. These have a pretty deep, like bowl. So I'm gonna put probably 3 layers of cardboard and then 2 pieces of bubble wrap, 2 sheets. Let's put that inside there and then that there. And that goes on top. That's enough of these. And then I wasn't sure if we were gonna need that new roll or not, but we definitely are gonna need it. All right, where's Linda's masking tape? Here it is. Whoops. So I'm gonna go in that direction and then in this direction, and then I'm gonna open that new bubble wrap and do a few more wraps. These didn't sell for an incredible amount of money, and I think I kind of paid a lot for them. I was kind of intrigued. I never heard of this JAJ company, so I was, when I found these, I was like, what is this? It looks like Pyrex. I started doing some research and found out that it basically is Pyrex. So the point is, I let my curiosity guide my wallet, and I bought these plates even though I almost certainly should not have, because I paid $6.42 for these 2 plates, and I only sold them for $22.50 plus shipping. So that's not a great return for me. I mean, that's fine. That's like, what's that, like 4 times? That's probably 4 times the investment, but I like at least 5, and I really like 10. That's what I prefer. So I'm gonna just wrap this and then tie it one more time with some of this tape. So there's quite a lot of layers here, and then I have a box specifically for plates. I mean, it may not be specifically for plates, but I bought it specifically to sell plates. I bought it, I think I bought 25 of these. I'm probably gonna run out of them before I run out of plates, but they're good for this purpose. And I do have a lot of plates floating around here that are, hopefully they're all gonna get shipped one way or another, one day or another. Okay, throw this in right in the middle. I hope somebody appreciates these plates, because this is a lot of packing material and a lot of effort to send something for $22. This is when I can understand why some people specialize only in shirts or pants or whatever, because they don't have to worry about anything getting broken in shipping. But man, I hate listing clothes. All right, J. This is gonna be kind of heavy, 5 pounds, 16 by 16 by 5. And who's it going to? I'm almost sure I did not charge enough for shipping on this. JH. These are going to Michigan, not too far. This feels a tiny bit loose, so put a little more tape. Okay, the last thing here, where did I get this? I don't know where I got this, but I got it for free wherever. I don't think I've ever paid for a CD. Any CDs I sold here, I'm pretty sure I've gotten them for free. This one is something, a Japanese thing, probably a manga theme or score. The Cat Returns. I have not heard of this. Has all Japanese on the spine, mostly Japanese in the front. The only place it says anything English is here, The Cat Returns. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I didn't listen to it. It's probably great, but didn't listen to it. It's probably a good movie too. Never even heard of it. So let's pack it. This, like I said, got it for free. Sold it for 14 bucks. This has only been listed since July, the end of July, so maybe 2 months. Took 2 months to sell this. This envelope is going to be just a little bit smaller. Oh, it's perfect. Just about perfect. Put a little cardboard around it to keep it safe. Give it a little extra protection. And then used Amazon mailer, bubble mailer. All right. Cat. I'm just going to write CD on here. 4 ounces. 9 by 6. 9 by 7 by 1. And this is going where? KS in South Carolina. All right, I'm going to get these labels and then I'll come back and tell you how much profit we made on everything. So hold on for 1 second. I forgot the most important package of the day, which is up here. I just put it here about 20 minutes ago. I'm not going to open this out of the box, so I'm going to have to try to remember to show you what I've got here. It is a ton of license plates, car license plates from all over the world. I mean, all over the country. Not too many from other countries. I do have one from Puerto Rico, but that's America. Anyway, I got these at a garage sale. I got 80 license plates, 80 or 79 license plates from this garage sale for $40. I thought the guy told me there were 40 of them there, and so I thought I was paying $1 a piece. But when I got them home and counted them, it was actually 80. I think it's 79, and then I had a different one here, so I bumped it up to 80. I went through them all, and a few of them are worth selling independently on their own. There is that Puerto Rico one that I think will sell for like at least $100. I should have written the weights and stuff on here today because I just did this. I just listed this evening. 19 pounds heavy. I just listed it this evening and then it sold within 20 minutes of listing. And I forgot to pull it out when I was doing this wrapping up. So $140 I sold these for. There were 69 plates, 69 license plates in here. The other ones will sell on their own, but I've already made very good profit on this whole deal. I saw like 2 plates in there that I thought these look like they're worth selling, and then I didn't really look at any of the rest of them. R.W. Miller. I just thought, okay, he said 40, I'll take them for 40. Then when I went to pay for them, he said, what did I tell you, 50? And I had to say, no, he told me 40. And then I said, can you throw in these records too? And he said, no. So this guy was not a haggler by any means. 17 by 11 by 9. Anyway, I'm happy with that deal now. I sold these for $140, paid $40 for all of them. There's at least one plate that'll sell for $100, and then a couple that are like in the $40 and $50 range. But this, I thought this is going to sit here for months, and it sold in just like 20 minutes. So I guess I way underpriced it. I don't know. So now that this one is done, I will get the labels, and then I'll be right back to tell you about how much money we made. Okay, all of those packages are labeled up and ready to go. So they're kind of heavy. I'm going to feel bad putting these out for my carrier tomorrow, but that's how it's going to happen. So I've already put in the request for pickup. So I'm going to have to do something to apologize because this is going to be a hefty day for her, because there's all of these plus this is Monday, so all of Sunday and Saturday's orders, and maybe there's a couple from Friday. Anyway, let's go over how much money we made on each of these things. So, all right, this drumhead earned $19.28, and the waffle maker sold for $99 after fees and everything. It earned $75.78. So those were both from yesterday, from August 31st. So those two sales brought yesterday's profit up to $130 when it was only about 30. It was like $35 yesterday. Now it's up to $130 just from these two sales. So that's good. The shipping on those two adds up to about 14 bucks. So all of the numbers that I said earlier about how much money we made in August, subtract about 14 from that. So let's go on to September 1st for orders for the first day of the year. It is 12:30 a.m. The chances of any more sales coming in tonight are pretty slim, but we do have a decent day, sales day, profit-wise. So let's look at how much we earned. The Mickey Mouse watch, this is a Bradley Mickey Mouse watch, sold it for $56.69. I paid $7 for it at a garage sale. Shipping fee was $6.19. That's how much I charged. The actual shipping cost was $4.49. So eBay fees were $7.47, and that gives us, after you subtract all of those fees and everything, a profit of $43.92. The two plates, the Pyrex JAJ plates, only $13.20 profit. The Cat Returns CD, only $12.32 profit. But those license plates, after fees and everything, I have a cost of goods of $33 on that. So that gives us a profit of $89.98, which means we add these four sales up and we have made $159.42 on the first day of September. So the month is starting out fine. Hopefully we can keep this kind of number or more, hopefully. So currently we only have one day. That means the average profit per day for September is $159.42. And then the average profit per sale is $39.86. So around 40. Last month, I think it averaged out about $30.07. So if we can keep it at 40 average per sale, that would be great. So, okay, September's starting out good. Hopefully you'll stick around for the whole month and then the rest of the year and see how we do. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.